Hi guys, it's Neil here again, Cave Guide at Wookey Hole, and today we have another story to tell you about. So I'm standing today in what is called the Witch's Parlour, a big dome, round-shaped chamber that, by the way, has very good acoustics. You might recall, as I'm talking, you can hear the acoustics of the cave here. Now, just over on the far side of the river, just over here, I'll just show you my torchlight, you might just make out a little gap between the water and the rock surface. And what we have over there is an archway that's between 3 to 4 meters high, and behind there is a cave which is called Chamber 4, which nowadays is underwater. Now, just a quick mention, this river is actually about 2 meters higher because of a dam. So the dam was built for the paper mill when it was working, which means today the river that we see here is different to what people in the past would have actually seen. Going back to the days of the Iron Age people 2,000 years ago, as they made their way in through the cave here, they would have been seeing a river at least 2 meters lower. They would have seen the entire archway over there, taking those people into what is the fourth chamber. And for those people, they could walk through a very shallow river into 4, but no further. Now, Iron Age people, they saw caves, the furthest cave, as a place sacred, very special. And we know that when they were farming and living above here, they would have used the valley outside, the river coming out as a spring. That was a ceremonial place. And this cave over here, this is a cave that they would have used for burials. Now, because of that, obviously this cave has a lot of interest. It's been excavated when the river's been lowered. And a man who spent a lot of his time, 40 years when he wasn't working, in the early 1900s, was a man called Herbert Balch. Now, he lived in Wells, he was local, and he spent a lot of time excavating this cave, the Great Cave, and also caves in the valley. So the story I'm going to tell you about, this is from 1910. He actually retells this story from a presentation he gave in 1914. But in 1910, the summer was very, very good. It was a very hot summer. And Herbert Balch, by himself, walked into the cave here, dragging with him a wooden raft, all alone in here. Again, by candlelight, he set sail, I suppose you could say, across the water, and there was enough gap, there was a gap big enough for him to sail on this wooden raft into Chamber 4. Now, there are markings in the roof of Chamber 4 that he wanted to see. So, when he got into Chamber 4, how could he see? Like most cave guides of the day, they used to carry a fuel like paraffin with them to light the cave. Herbert Balch took a can of benzine. And when he was in Chamber 4, he literally emptied the entire can onto the surface of the water. He then lit it, and the whole cave lit up with this burning benzene. Now, it was all good because he could see in the cave, he could see all the markings he was looking for. But one thing he hadn't accounted for was the effect of the current, because in there, the river was coming towards him. So there he is on his little wooden raft, and all of a sudden, this great big wall of flame is coming towards him. How can he get out of that cave quick enough? So quick thinking, Herbert Balch grabs his oars, and he starts splashing the water from the sides of his little wooden raft, and makes a hasty retreat out of Chamber 4. And if you go back to the story of when he tells this story in 1914, the audience thank him that he survived and was able to tell many a story thereafter. And during the presentation that he did make, he also recounted how exploring caves can be potentially dangerous, and he also mentions being involved in a rescue himself, where he rescued 3 boys whose candles had blown out, and with no matches, they sat in the dark waiting to be rescued.